there's a lot of holes in his game that we're going to expose.
I wanna smash. Smash his face.
In 2025, boxing is no longer just about belts. It's about buzz. And in a world where clicks and credibility rarely intersect, we find ourselves here. Jake Paul, Julio César Chávez Jr. Two very different stories, one very unexpected collision. Jake Paul, once known for YouTube pranks, now 7 years into a boxing career that began as a sideshow, has morphed into a pay-per-view mainstay. On the biggest streaming service in the world, Netflix. A 11-1 record, knockouts over MMA names, and a split decision loss to Tommy Fury, the one traditional boxer he's faced.
Split decision. Tommy TNT.
Julio César Chávez Jr., the son of royalty, a former WBC middleweight champion, and at one point, Mexico's next great hope. Now often mentioned more for missed weights and outside the ring scandal.
Julio César Chávez Jr. has been arrested for illegal possession of an assault rifle.
A talented fighter, but one who's never quite matched the shadow of his last name. At 39, Chávez Jr. is far from the peak version that pushed Sergio Martinez to the brink in 2012.
Another big right hand by Junior.
Oh, the left hand, and he's hurt, and he's down on the ground. He's down on the ground.
Since then, it's been a mix of good, bad, and bizarre. Wins over gatekeepers, losses to legends, and a strange chapter against Anderson Silva that saw him outboxed and outfought by a 46-year-old UFC icon. Still, Chávez Jr. has experience Jake Paul can't buy. 61 pro fights, 34 knockouts, and a chin that's seen real damage. So how do we even begin to measure this matchup? Jake Paul brings youth, strength, and momentum, but he's never fought a real boxer this season. Meanwhile, Chávez Jr. brings pedigree, experience, and unpredictability. Because the big question is which version of Chávez shows up on paper? Both have the same height and pretty close in reach. Jake Paul has size, walks heavier, and arguably the better conditioning right now.
Coming into my prime as a man, 28 years old, they say you're the strongest when you're around 30 as a man.
Chávez Jr. has experience, ring IQ, and when dialed in, are sharper boxing fundamentals. But this isn't just physical, it's psychological. Jake's used to being doubted. Chávez Jr.'s used to being compared. For many Mexican fans, this fight is more than just an event. It's personal.
En el Canelo, pues no pude, que el peso y lo que tú quieras. Con Martínez se me fue el último round y esta es la tercera. Pelea grande, entonces esta la voy a ganar.
Because whether he likes it or not, Chávez Jr. carries the weight of a legacy that means everything in Mexico. And Jake Paul, he's stepping into that.
Yeah, look, I'm a kid from Ohio who's made it to the biggest stages in the world. I think my story is a testament that anything is possible.
Jake has sold out arenas in Manchester and fought in football stadium in Texas, but this is different. This is a country where boxing is sacred. Where surnames come with expectations and no other surname is bigger than Chávez. The lead-up has been quieter than usual. Jake hasn't gone full villain.
There's two things you can't beat, me and your drug addiction.
Well, Julio, you have had your
Right.
struggles.
Chávez Jr. hasn't played into theatrics, but beneath the surface, the stakes are clear.
Chávez Jr. is still more skilled than anyone Jake Paul has ever fought.
For Jake Paul beat a former world champion. And maybe the critics have to start using legitimate when they say his name.
Julio Chavez Jr. is still a world-class fighter.
Yes.
For Chavez Jr., lose this fight, and it might be the final blow to a career already hanging by a thread.
What's up? We just finished the press conference. It's gonna be fire. June 28th. Jake Paul, shit, you better train hard because Chavez is coming after you.
So stylistically, what does this fight look like? Jake Paul tends to fight in bursts. Tight guard, short power shots, explosive overhands. He's become more patient, more technical, but still green.
As he lands the right hand. Yeah, so counter striker. There's a nice lead left hook, cuffing shot just behind the ear. The 1-2 from Paul.
Chavez Jr. at his best. Pressures behind a jab, rips to the body, walks opponents down.
And I think could be the difference in this fight. Now Chavez loading up, coming with all the bombs. Sanchez in trouble along the ropes and down.
But that version, we haven't consistently seen him in nearly a decade. Jake's youth, stamina, and preparation are very real. He's surrounded himself with serious coaches, and unlike some of his opponents, he's taking this seriously.
He has a lot of heart and he knows that I'm coming to win, and they're saying that this is the hardest he's ever been training.
But Chavez Jr. has that intangible, a fighter's instinct honed across hundreds of rounds. If he can push Jake into deep waters, rounds 7, 8, 9, we'll see if the influencer can survive the fighter.
8, 9, 10. Si le va bien, se va a la decisión, pero lo puede dar una friega. Y si no, yo creo que los últimos rounds se va a caer.
In boxing, image often clashes with substance. And this fight, oddly enough, might give us both. It's a strange matchup that somehow makes perfect sense in today's landscape. Jake Paul wants respect.
This is going to be my breakout performance. It's going to be a tough fight, you know. Someone's going to get embarrassed, and it's not going to be me, but...
Julio César Chávez Jr. wants redemption.
And I'm super excited, so I'm training hard. And I have a surprise for tonight.
And somewhere in between lies the truth about who Jake really is as a fighter and whether Chavez Jr. has anything left to give. Saturday night, two different worlds enter the same ring. One trying to prove he belongs, one trying to prove he's still worthy. For one, it's validation. For the other, it might be a farewell. Jake Paul versus Julio César Chávez Jr., a fight that nobody expected, and one we won't be able to ignore. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you are a boxing fan, either a casual or a die-hard, this is the place for you. Leave a like and subscribe. I'll catch you on the next OMR Boxing signing off.